for more on this, Monica Crowley is the online opinion editor for the Washington Times and Fox News contributor. Alex Conant was Senator Rubio's communications director, also now a political consultant for Firehouse Strategies. All right, thank you both for coming in.
Hi.
Alex, I'll start with you. I want to get both of your reactions to this. And by the way, Admiral Kirby, speaking today, State Department spokesman said, "We don't pay ransom. This was not ransom." His exact quote, "These were two separate processes run by two separate teams."
Well, first of all, that's the stated policy of the United States government. It's a good policy because you don't want to put a price on the head of every American that's overseas. So when you read reports that $400 million is being transmitted to a government that's also releasing hostages at the same time, is deeply troubling. Never mind the fact that Iran is one of the world's largest state-sponsored of terrorism around the world. And so this money is now being used to fuel Syria, American deaths in Syria and other places around the world. It's very troubling on many levels.
Monica, if it's that clear-cut, why would we do this? I mean, if we have a policy against it, some of the families we know in the past that have been involved with these situations have talked about how they've been pressured by the different administrations not to move forward with anything that would look like ransom for these very things that Alex just mentioned.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, the U.S. has a standing policy for the reason that Alex pointed out. You don't want bounty on the head of every American. The Iranians have grabbed 2 Americans since this deal was in place. The only thing that I can think is that it is part of the bigger Iranian nuclear deal. And since that deal was verified and accepted by all sides, you've had Iran now set on a glide path toward a nuclear weapon. We've had these 2 Americans taken. And for the Secretary of State, John Kerry, and others in this administration to say, don't worry, this $400 million, there's no way it's going to be plowed back into terrorism, is absurd on its face. This is the greatest state sponsor of terror on the face of the earth. This money will go to support Hezbollah, Hamas, the other terrorist groups that Iran supports around the world. Remember that Iran is responsible for the deaths of 1,000 U.S. servicemen in Iraq. Of course they are going to plow this money back in. And by the way, ISIS is an outgrowth of al-Qaeda, and we know that the Iranian regime has also been very friendly and supportive of al-Qaeda.
All right, plenty of skepticism on this deal and what we're learning today. Now, back here domestically, Donald Trump tamping down reports of internal discord, tweeting, "There is great unity in my campaign, perhaps greater than ever before." His running mate, Mike Pence, says everybody's united and the campaign is coming together.
He's a fighter, he's a winner, and up until very recently, it seems like he's been out there doing it all on his own, but now we are united, we are come together.
Trump saying he thinks Republicans who are keeping their distance from him are making a mistake because of his popularity with the Republican base. And he says if he loses the election, he will start super PACs to defeat some of his detractors in future elections, such as Senator Ted Cruz or Ohio Governor John Kasich. Alex, this is the guy who's now supposed to be sort of the de facto head of the Republican Party.
I mean, what is he doing? I mean, the opponents here are not John Kasich and Ted Cruz. The opponent here is Hillary Clinton and the Democrats. He needs to wake up in the morning thinking about how am I going to beat Hillary Clinton, not how am I going to get revenge on people like Ted Cruz and John Kasich. The fact that he has not endorsed Paul Ryan, I mean, even Mike Pence just endorsed Paul Ryan, splitting with the top of the ticket on that. I think he needs to simplify his message. He should embrace Bill Clinton's message from 1992. It's the economy, stupid. GDP growth is weaker than it has been, weaker than it should be. That's what he needs to be talking about. Forget about all of this talk about Republicans. Forget about the primaries. Let's look forward. Let's try to win in November.
Well,